You have received a healing resulting in a correction or an improvement this morning. Please complete the yellow card and I'll show you what it looks like. You all have them in your hymnals. Please complete this yellow card and give it to the pastor in the back of the temple, or you can even mail the card in to us as well. Or you can place it in the collection plate. There are several ways to return it to us, but it really helps, especially the student healers with their progress. We'd like to thank our healers for sharing their gift of healing this morning. And I'm going to name the healers from that way to this way. Jackie Arnold, Jody Martinez, Cynthia Preston, who is now back here, Daryl Demerit, and Reverend Dr. Shelby Ganber. Thank you all so much for being here and really sharing your gifts this morning. We greatly appreciate it. Please stand for our next hymn now, number 70, Amazing Grace.
Sweet the sound that saved us. But now I'm found was blind was great to fear and grace. That grace appear, the hour speed through the doors and snares I have brought me safe thus far, and grace will be all. When we 1,000 years bright shining God's sun, we days to sing in God's praise, then when we see God. Thank you. You may be seated.
I'd like to introduce our guest speaker this morning, Lori Carter. Lori is a spiritualist medium, healer, and teacher, certified through Southern Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp, which is here. She is also a certified medium by the American Spiritualist Association through the Chapel of Spiritual Light as well. Lori's readings include bringing in spirit, giving evidence of spirit, life guidance, and psychic information. She is also an attuned in Reiki level 2 and is an arcing light teacher, and that's a form of healing as well. She has also written articles for newspapers and magazines for 25 years. So please join me now in giving a very warm welcome to Lori Carter.
Thank you, Reverend Deb. Beautiful meditation. Thanks for the introduction. And Jamie, what a beautiful voice. Thank you. And so, hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming today. And so the other day, like some days, I was looking for an agent. I have a couple of books that need representation. I have self-published in the past and decided to go the other route. I am an established writer. Long ago, when I was 18 years old, I put it out to the universe that I was going to be a best-selling author. And someday I will. One more no is one step closer to yes. And so I thought to contact one of my former creative writing professors at UCF. I said I have an instructional book on how to become a medium based on science. She said her agent had retired and that she reached out to contact in LA. I got to thinking about LA, not a place I'd like to be. I am a reporter and I definitely have political views, which I won't be discussing here today. However, I did share the information with my daughter and she reminded me that people on the left, liberals, may be more apt to be interested in my writings. And I did agree. And it got me to thinking about this talk today. The right is conservative and wants to preserve existing conditions with limits to change, in case you didn't know. As you know from earlier, I am a writer. I was a freelance writer for the Lake edition of the Orlando Sentinel for 17 years. I mostly wrote human interest stories and did cover local government meetings now and again and a couple of elections here and there. I covered a story once that was about a gentleman who cut hair once monthly for free at a Baptist church. And when I covered stories that included religion, I was inevitably asked about my religion. Can you imagine? I do my best to show up authentically. I will not lie. So I was asked the question by one of the ministers. I said I was a spiritualist. I waited. I could see the disdain on his face. I said, I do believe in God. He did not like that. And then I added, your God and my God are the same. He smirked and walked on, thankfully. This brings me to my topic today. What or who is God? I'd like to start with a quoted conversation by God. That is George Burns, who played the role in Oh God. So this is a little long. Here we go. Why is it so hard for you to believe? Is my physical existence any more improbable than your own? What about all the hoo-ha with the devil a while ago from that movie? Nobody had any problem believing the devil took over and existed in a little girl. All she had to do was wet the rug, throw up some pea soup, and everybody believed. The devil you can believe, but not God. I work in my own way. I don't get inside little children. They've got enough to do just being themselves. Also, I'm not about to go around to every person in the world and say, look, it's me. I want to talk to you. So I picked one man, one very good man. I told him God lives. I live. He had trouble believing too in the beginning. I understood. I'm not sure how this whole miracle business started. The idea that anything connected with me has to be a miracle. Personally, I'm sorry that it did. It makes the distance between us even greater. But if a miracle helps you believe that I am who I am, or say I am, I'll give you one, a good one. Let me see. What's my most impressive miracle? Aha, pick a card. Judge Baker, a character in the movie, said, what? God, pick a card, any card. God reading a religious quiz. Is Jesus Christ the Son of God? He thinks. Jesus was my son. Buddha was my son. Muhammad, Moses, you. The man who said there was no room in the inn was my son. And so is the one who charges $11 for a steak. Can you imagine $11 for a steak? I do believe we all have a spark of the divine, God within us. In spiritualism, the Declaration of Principles, it reads, we believe in infinite intelligence. So what does that truly mean? It means there is something or someone, perhaps an energy that is unseen in charge of this whole idea we call life. Our second principle, we believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. It means that everything is an expression of infinite intelligence. The bottom line is we have free will to decide for ourselves, especially since we are in America. I believe there to be a spiritual war going on right now. Just not here in the US, but the world and perhaps the universe. In a war, it is common to choose sides. Yes, pretty much everything is based on duality. Think about it. God, the devil, good and evil, feminine and masculine. Incidentally, we all have feminine and masculine energies within us, and we get to choose who we are. Spiritual growth or stagnation, higher vibrations, love, peace, joy, and lower vibrations, hate, destruction, misery. And to delve just a little deeper on the duality theory, think of this. Higher vibrations can have both good and less than good qualities. Here's another point. Which is good and which is less than good when you think of God and the devil? I might think God is good, and someone else might think the devil is their God. Who is right and who is wrong? Most spiritualists grew up in a different religion. I was raised a Methodist. So yes, I do believe in God. My belief is we all have spiritual gifts, psychic and mediumistic. God, the creator of this world, gave us these gifts. To grow my gifts, I meditate and work with them. And, I don't know if any of you have heard me speak before, but I love to share my experiences. Not just for that, but I think it allows other people to open up and share their experiences as well. And so early on in my development, I've had some phenomenal meditations. I was speaking to a young boy, probably 12 years old, and he was writing while I read. After meditation, I realized the boy was Enoch, also known as Metatron, the scribe of God. One time during sleep state, I was awakened by 7 or 8 spirits around my head. It was a little frightening. It was early on in my development. I called for Archangel Michael, and he came. One of his wings covered my entire body, and those spirits fell away. There is definitely more than meets the eye. Could that be God? Listen to some of the definitions of what God is that I found on the internet. God is, number one, in Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. God is, number two, in certain other religions, a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity. And number three, God is the supreme or ultimate reality, such as the being perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, who is worshipped as in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism as creator and ruler of the universe. They almost kind of sound similar, So I believe in the white light. Another time, in a class meditation, my forehead was pulled to the side and a shaft of light entered it, for at least 30 minutes. The person who was supposed to come to me to give me a message only could say all I could see was white light encompassing your entire body. The experience felt divine, and it still does as I speak of it. Another white light experience came when my very dear friend was dying. She had a dream of white light all around her, and it included a white gate. Once awake, she told me of the white light, how comforting it was, and how it was everywhere. She said she didn't think she was good enough to be there. I know. I reminded her as to exactly who she is and was. A powerful spiritual being, just like every single one of us. 2 days later, she went to be with the light. And you know, when you leave this earth plane, go to the light, just saying. A quote here, be calm, God awaits you at the door. Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Not everyone believes in God. Atheists do not believe in God. Show of hands, how many people went through the phase of being an atheist in high school or some other time? Me? Maybe you still are there, and that's okay. It's your free will to choose. The Greek philosopher Epicurus, which was in 342 to 271 BCE, a while ago, claimed that the existence of evil proved there is no God. He claimed that if God cannot stop evil, then he is not all-powerful, omnipotent. He then argued if God can prevent evil, but does not, then God is not good. He also thought that natural evil challenges our belief in God. He reasoned, if God knows about our suffering, all-knowing, cares about our suffering, all-loving, and can do something about our suffering, all-powerful, then there shouldn't be any suffering. And another little scene from the movie Oh God, Jerry Landers, one of the characters, how can you permit all the suffering that goes on in the world? God. How can I permit the suffering? Yeah. I don't permit the suffering. You do. Free will. All the choices are yours. Choices? What choices? You can love each other, cherish and nurture each other, or you can kill each other. Incidentally, kill is not the word. It's not waste. If I meant waste, I would have written, thou shalt not waste. You are doing some very funny things with words here. You are also turning the sky into mud. I look down, I can't believe the filth. Using the rivers for toilets, poisoning my fishes. You want a miracle? You make a fish from scratch. You can't. You think only God can make a tree? Try coming up with a mackerel. And when the last one is gone, that'll be that. 86 on the fishes, goodbye sky, so long world, over and out. And it's interesting, after I read that one, I actually looked up to see when this movie came out. It was 1977. Here we are in 2023. Yeah, we're all getting older. But here we are in 2023. And has anything changed? A couple of more quotes to ponder. What one man calls God, another calls the law of physics. Nikola Tesla. Quantum physics says there exists a universal energy that has the attributes of God. This energy has consciousness and creativity. All matter is composed of this energy. What about someone who would say we're in a matrix, and when the plug is pulled, we no longer exist? Well, who's pulling the plug? And another quote by Tesla, the gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. So what is the Bible? Now, remember, I am a reporter, you know. I could be a little. I believe it to be a true account of the times in accordance with the author's perceptions. And guess what? There are many authors to that Bible, not just one. However, what really needs to be brought out here is what was omitted from the Bible and why. Think of the Constantine times with the First Council of Nicaea. Also, why was religion created? In some sense, I believe in a lot of ways, it was to control the masses. Most spiritualists believe that Jesus was the greatest healer and prophet who walked this earth plane. Jesus is in the Bible, and our ninth principle reads, we affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And it is also in our healing prayer. I just reminded myself when I recited it earlier. Listen to this. I wrote a story one time on a woman who took her children to church with her so she could pray. They had fallen on real hard times. While standing in front of the statue of Jesus, she and her children saw a tear come from his eyes. Isn't that amazing? And I love it that my editor allowed the story to publish that way. It took me a minute to be open about my own belief in infinite intelligence. God, the creator of all that is. I became a little more open about it on social media of all places. I followed someone based on his political beliefs, and it turned out he believes in God and posts about it openly. At first, I was a little offended by his post, and I even told him about it in a private message. But after a while, I became accustomed to them and now truly appreciate seeing them. In fact, last week, I created a post on my Facebook page saying that I was the speaker here today and noted that my topic was who or what is God. My post became unavailable within the hour. I was like, are you kidding me? Well, and I thought, well, I'll try another day, you know? And so a couple of days later, I did repost it. Apparently they had a busier day somewhere else. And so speak your truth, guys. Stand for something. To top it off, one of my newest friends is Christian. It's okay. She says God, and I say spirit. To me, it's the same. I was to first write this talk to share several months ago. Something came up and I was unable to do so. And I was a little apprehensive around it at the time, thinking it might be too much or too political. In all actuality, this talk is pretty tame compared to our ancestors in spiritualism who fought for social reform, to include women's rights to vote. Susan B. Anthony, not able to speak anywhere on the play, was invited by Lily Dale Assembly, a spiritualist camp in New York. I love that. I just got goosebumps. Anyway, I went to lunch with a friend at that time too to think about my topic and how I would approach it. She gave me a prayer card and quote unquote, see, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hand, Isaiah 49:16. And below it, it reads, God has my name written in his hand. This is love. Wouldn't it be great to live in a fifth dimensional type of world where there was no duality, just higher vibrational energies, just being? You know, we are in the Aquarian age. Hopefully I'll live long enough to see that. They say this is an exciting time to live, and I must agree. I'm not here today to tell you who or what to believe in. You get to choose. Free will. I just want to give you something to think about. A check-in is always good. Perhaps you may change your mind. Again, I do believe we all have a spark of God within us. You don't have to be on the left or the right. You don't have to be Baptist or Methodist. That spark is available to every single one of us. It is there. I got a little into myself and lost myself. Whoops. And so here we go. A quote, a quote from God Almighty. You can't tell anybody you're God, believe me. You don't want that kind of attention, and you can't mess with free will. And one last one from George Burns, and oh God, I know how hard it is in these times to have faith. But maybe if you could have the faith to start with, maybe the times would change. You could change them. Think about it. And finally, one I just found the other day, Bob Proctor, by Bob Proctor. Faith and fear both demand you believe in something you cannot see. You choose. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Lori. During our musical interlude, we will be passing the basket, and we thank you in advance for your generosity. Our musical interlude today will be Spirit in the Sky, and we handed out the words to that. So please sing along as you feel so moved and shake those tambourines. Down the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That all took us back, didn't it? Is that what it is? All right, 1969. Oh, that's great. Well, that woke us up anyway, huh? Oh, dear. All right, if you're able after that, let's take an attitude of prayer. We give thanks for these gifts before us, so generously given. And we see this loving energy going forth to support Cassadaga in doing its loving, healing work in the world, which is so, so needed. Thank you, Spirit. Amen. All right, well, now we have our announcements. Next Wednesday, 12/13, our message bearers are our students. And that's always a fun time to have our students up here giving messages. Everybody's welcome, and that's next Wednesday. Next Sunday, 12/17, our guest speaker at our 10:30 service will be Reverend Phil DeLong. Every Sunday, we have Adult Lyceum, also known as Adult Sunday School, from 9:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building, which is our bookstore right up at the corner. And it's a wonderful time of community and sharing. So if you're able to come to that at 9:30 in the morning on Sundays, it's a great time to be there. And we have pastries too, and coffee. Next Sunday at Lyceum, our speaker is Reverend Dr. Sheldon Yenberg, and he was back there grooving with that music. I thought you were gonna come down the aisles again, honey. He's my husband. All right, now we have a few more announcements. This afternoon, Reverend Phil DeLong will be doing an intuitive art butterfly workshop from 2 to 4 in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building, again, the bookstore. Next Saturday, December 16th, from 11 to 1 p.m., Reverend Dr. Lewis Gates will be doing a crystals and healing stones workshop in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. But this Friday night, and you gotta be there, this Friday night is our annual candlelight service, which is one of the highlights of our year. And we just love it. It's from 7 to 9 p.m. this Friday night. It is, you don't want to miss it. Join us for some really beautiful music this year. Beautiful music. And Jamie and her son actually are going to be doing a few of them. So you got to be there. We'll have sing-along carols, sharing holiday reflections. And the icing on the cake is there will be free mini readings after the service. So you want to be there. It'll be just a wonderful, wonderful time to spend around the holidays. So we hope you can come. One last announcement. As you noticed, our sound system has a few hiccups. And so many of you may be aware we are in great need of an updated sound system. It's very old. And so we received a generous donation last week, but we still need more. So we have a jar at the back of the temple right behind that Christmas tree right there. So if any of you are able to donate to that, we would be greatly appreciative. Thank you for that. To participate in absentee healing, please print the name and first initial of the last name of a loved one, friend, and a pet in our healing book at the left corner of Colby Temple. Right over there, there's a plant and a little Christmas tree on that table. And every Thursday morning, we have our healing meditation circle at 11 a.m., again up at the Andrew Jackson Davis Building, where all the names on the healing list are held in prayer, and also our planet as well, and Mother Earth. So we would love to have you come. All are welcome to that. Flyers for camp events are at the back of the temple. We have an activities calendar and a church bulletin in your hymnal. right here, red and green, of course, this time of year. So, take a copy home with you. It has all our classes on it. And if you want to take one for a friend or a couple for friends, please help yourself for that. You have plenty. Our website, casadega.org, also has all the monthly information for upcoming events. It has everything on it. So it's casadega.org. Please stand for the next hymn, This Little Light of Mine, number 179.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Cynthia, hold on. Before we do the second verse, I don't think we even need the music for this. Okay. Just go ahead and shut it off. Let's do the second verse, because I love to hear y'all's voices anyway. All right. All right. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Building up the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Yeah, I think it's more beautiful without the music. You guys did great. You can have a seat.
We love that song because it really gets the energy going in here. And it's important for the next message portion of our service. The Spirit loves energy. Judy, you want to say something?
For as many people as we get to, presented by our students.
Yeah, so join us at 12 o'clock for that right here, back here, so you can go out and get a little air and then come on back. For the message portion of our service, Lori Carter is going to be your message bearer, so let's welcome her back up.
Wow, it's almost 11:30 already. I think I might have talked a little longer than I should have. Thank you, Spirit. I'd like to come to the lady right here who's talking to the person there. Hi, how you doing? As I get into your vibration, I got several spirits around you. I'm gonna go with a gentleman with dark hair and facial hair, showing himself in his mid to late 50s. He may have passed later in life. He's very intelligent. I do believe he was in the military, if not very militant, very routine, very, very detail orientated. I feel like the big message for you, because this is what he did, is march to your own beat. Don't worry about what other people say, do, or think. You just do you. I am being shown that you're getting ready to integrate something into your life. I have to wonder if you're thinking about changing a job or moving up in a position in your job. I'm going to say, go with it. I almost feel like you're going to be opening up a book, learning something new, and perhaps even bridging into another company. And I leave that with love. And I do see that you're a teacher as well. I leave that with love and light. Thank you. All righty, where am I going this time? Where am I going? I like to go to the lady here with the glasses on. Yes. Oh, no. Yeah, no, you. And so As I get to your vibration, I do have a woman in spirit here with you. And she seems to be very slender to me. She has old type of old fashioned garb on, and it's very form fitting. Could be a grandmother, could be a great aunt type of energy. I do believe she had beautiful hair and always did. She has glasses on a string, so I feel like she has more than one pair of glasses. And so she too is very intelligent. I feel something around numbers with her, perhaps working in a bank or doing some type of bookkeeping type of thing. One thing though is she was big into her family, even though she had to go out and work to make money for her family, she'd rather be there with her family. Yeah. And so, and I just not showing that I do believe you're stitching together or sewing together relationships right now. And you're constantly working on that. I'm gonna say it's a great thing that you do that, but however, we all have to learn our life lessons, which I believe you already know. They're showing me that you're very independent, very strong person. And, you know, I almost want to get something around Native American with you. I could see you like joining some type of drumming group or start your own. And I leave that with love and light. And then I'll just quickly come on over here. Where am I going over here? I like to come to this young lady right here. How are you? Awesome, thank you. As I get to your vibration, I do see a woman here in spirit with you. And she probably comes up about here to me. Of course, I'm on a little platform back here, you know, so she's not that tall of a lady. She has darker colored hair. And I feel like she changes the color of her hair. She's got beautiful skin type of thing, great sense of humor, a hoot. Always wanted to have fun. She's lighting candles around. I see a green candle being lit right now, which is about healing. I have to wonder if you are going through some healing, cleansing situations right now. You got this. You're very strong. You're very courageous. Let's see what else. Anything else? And you know, there's an innocence about you, I feel, and stay with that. Stay with that. I do get the idea that you've had some projects that you thought about in the past that you put up on the shelf. I feel like it's now time to bring them back down and start working with those projects. I'm being shown you're a writer. So perhaps you had written a book or started writing a book. Well, pick it back up. And I leave that with love and light. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Lori, for those wonderful messages. We would like to remind everyone that we will have our afternoon message service. We really want you there. Again, it's at 12 o'clock here. We encourage you to visit our bookstore, which is open from 11:30 to 5 p.m. today, and open Monday through Saturdays, and open Monday through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please rise for our closing hymn number 203, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Thank you. That's my water, just so you know. Let there be peace on earth, and let be with me. Let there be God, created us. To create us free. Let's walk with each other in each other. Let me thinking clearly. We don't talk without. We that mindset
Let us take an attitude of prayer now. I'd like to end with a Celtic blessing that's a favorite of mine. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your field. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. God bless you, and thank you so much for being here with us today. Have a great afternoon.